kuzindua hiyo mradi ni kwa sababu vijana wetu wapate kufanya online business. Pia tumejenga ile Aception ambaye saa hii imefika rental. Nataka kusema hivi, tumepitia barabara ambayo imechimbwa hapa. Hii ni barabara ambayo serikali imetupatia.
Aripote lo yabe meche bo Kass kongeten county nebo Kericho, kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Kagomange Minister anan CC nebo kabatishet eng serikalitab county nebo Nakuru Leonard Bor ako samengi kobun kuresoi koisto kandoik chekamwa kole kokowekta let bandab tai eng komosatak. Kongolali eng Langwenda nemiten Nyota komwa Bor kole kokotestai alak eng kandoik chebo kuresoi ak ateboshek chemanyoljin kandoik missing kiboisie neranik eng oret neya.
Gongolali yekangorutochi akochikil oret nebo Langwenda torokwa en wadit nebo Nyota akorutochi familia agenge en komosaton kokakimit CEC anan minister nebo kabatisiet en county nebo Nakuru Leonard Bor kole maketab serikalitab county nebo Nakuru koker kole kakikanapta ortinwek asikomuch kotoret kabatik komanda rurutikwak koba siro.
Amun niton angen ale wendi kobose garametab temisiet amun en abokora ko kename pikipiki komanda viasiat anan kecheng terekta komanda viasiat lakini anan ko chego akine kechenge koui ele itito market lakini from now angen ale kakonyumnyumit ng'alek choton chele kiaccessendai market koto ng'alekab viasi koto ng'alekab bandek ak ng'alekab chekyok amun temik biikab koroni nekingen kora kele kitindoi cooperative agenge en ireu noton nebo kapteta ne through intervention nebo county government ko kikenyoru kulait noton kit nekishua kele ngobare tuoe barabarani kakinde koik ako kaketiech konome lorit konyone koibe chego badala noton nekotokiibe ko niton kwendi kobose garametab production.
Manerekyin kit nekamwa kole alak en kandoik chekakoboisie neranik en komosaton kowaken kandoik alak ak missing kong'em tuiyosiek en mwaet kole niton ko nekakowekta let bandab tai en komosaton.
Anomwe ng'alek achon nyome amani kesom kura en kalyet anan chekiwirotegei. Omoche chekibiregei, omoche chebo nyundoit, ainon age nemamwa. Amwa nyundoit, amwa chekityoregei, amwa nebo kipchuguniet, ainon age nemamwa. Koita, ainon age nebo ket. Tarimboit, beletet, ak nebo tush, kokoit koronio, akile nan komoe matalo en koroni, omoe siasa cheu chon. Kit nekimoe kemwa kesome siasa chebo amani. Ako en boisiet kotindoi chitugul ofisinyin nekimoche kemwa raini kele ingoyai chitugul kasit kotiengei ofisit nekikilioi nekikikochi.
Kosubkei ak noton kosom inendet meng'ik chebo county nebo Nakuru ak missing ko kuresoi komatkoyan kandoik cheu choton.
Kotatebie sibare kelele kechobokyi nabas biik. Aswe alak lelote uchamuan biik kyok kokonon tutam amun ko amonoyot. Kokakilen kainonatet komi chekebore amonoyot. Miten boisiet nekelyonen. Koyan kokas nelelen okonon amun ko amonoyot en ikonyen. Ona ole kimanai kit nekisome. Position isome ingen ile ne nemoche iyochi biik.
Akot kounoton kokaibarasta inendet makenyin nebo kosom ng'echeret nebo MP en Kuresoi North ole kamwa kole makenyin kokowal kandoinatet nebo Kuresoi North ak missing koker kole kaipchi bandab tai komoswek tugul chebo Kuresoi North.
Kokamoche sachulchin ne alei Lensco komiten kiwanjet ak ami kwane ako wadosi kokwek chomuani. Ako nai very clearly kole ng'echeret nosome ko ng'echeret noton nebo Muchumbe MP nebo Kuresoi North. Akesome anosome akesome kora en kalyet. Kisome en kalyet makisome ak ng'alek chekiwirotegei amakisome ak ng'alek chekichubotegei.
Kong'eten county nebo Nakuru logoiwekab emet chebo Kass. Kainenyun ko Sylvester Rono.
Tesetai committee nebo ad hoc kochikili akobo boisietab rabisiek eng serikalitab county nebo Kericho. Ngenyoru report.
Kong'ololjin sirikab logoiwek en County Assembly nebo Kericho mwa kandoindetab chechang en County Assembly noton Philip Rono kole tokyin County Assembly chikiletab rabisiek cheite bilionisiek 10 chekinyor county nebo Kericho en kenyitab mung'aret nekosirto.
Ko yan kakiker kenyitab serikali kemoe kenai kele rabinik 10 billion chekibo Kericho chekikakipitishan en budget ko kikiboisien en oret ainon. Ko noton amune kitebe ngunon kele kikokindewok rabinikab sipitali owal brongetiisiek kabar biik koristo wagonjwa chemi sipitali chebo Referral Hospital ak chebo Sub County Hospital. Kokiteb kora kele kikokindewok rabinikab kerichek kalyan wagonjwa chemong'u en district konyokwole kerichek tugul en kemis chemi nje en sipitali. Chemi kapkatet komong'u nyokwole, chemi Londiani komong'u nyokwole. So tepset kityo nebo County Assembly o kasitab County Assembly.
Kosubkei ak Rono ko noton ko boisietab County Assembly nebo Kericho ole manyolu kobit ng'alalet nemuse tokyinetabgei nebo MCAs.
Kikokinde rabinik chekiolen kawek chekiipchin wananchi, chekiolen majani chai, chekiolen mananas chebikomine wananchi, chekiolen macadamia, chekiolen avocado. Kemoe kenai kityo kele kingindewok rabinichu ko kioal avocado chetyan o kioib koba ano o kinyor ng'o, who are the beneficiaries. So chon ko kasitab County Assembly motindo kasit age neo. So agere kityo orogendos biik ko koleini kasitab MCA ko kikikoi kele primary oversight kwo MCA, secondary oversight nebo county kwo Senate. So kakinam kasinyon kityo ngap kobek kenyit konye kemoe kityo kele accountability nebo 10 billion. 10 billion is a lot of money.
Kamwa Rono kole boisiechin biikab emet ole katil koboisien ad hoc committee asikojaktaen boisiet ak komong report en chokyinet.
Kemoe kityo konai wananchi kole 10 billion ichu ko kokyai nang ne. Katebe biik kole kalyan mayai committee. Committee chekitindoi sectoral committees ko committee 12 ako tindoi age tugul membaek 9. So mo possible kwai biik 12 times 9 biik over 100 kwai oversight agenge. So yon kateni sheria, yon kateni uchunguzi departments chechang ko kit nekyoe kechobe kit nekure special committee non kikuren ad hoc. So mamoi kworogenchi ad hoc committee is just like any other committee, u committee nebo roads, u committee nebo water. The only difference is that investigating more than one department.
Kamwa whip nebo County Assembly nebo Kericho na MC nebo waditab Seretut Chepsororiet Haron Rotich kole tokyingei departments cheite 4 cheboto ortinwek ak kabatisiet asikonai boisietab rabisiek cheboto chebo toretosiek chenootin kou floka chekinyor department nebo kabatisiet en county nebo Kericho.
Kwanza ni mambo ya mabarabara, ya pili katika kila wadi, ya pili ni mambo ya kilimo ambapo kuna pesa ya fadhili ambapo zilikuwa zinaelekea katika zile kufadhili ile miradi ya kilimo katika kila wadi. Na ya tatu ni mambo ya maji. Kuna pesa zinatoka inaitwa Floka na pia NAFCDP. All those funded projects are from the donors. And therefore what we are seeking is we want clarity on the projects that has been done in 2 successive financial years. And so those are our request to those officers wakuje katika bunge waweze kujieleza hizo pesa zilienda hapo.
Arpon chenloekab emet chebo Kass kong'eten county nebo Kericho, kainenyun ko Robert CLA.
Tesetai familia agenge kobun kokwetab Kapsirichoi eng kot neng'ate ng'atutik nebo Emgwen eng county nebo Nandi kocheng'e imanda kosubkei ak yautiet nemwaat kele kokinyor lakwenywan nebo kenyisiek 14 nemoititotin kabwatutik ak muren agenge nebo kenyisiek 24 ole konyor lakwanatok kakotunosiek cheyachen ole tesetai konyor kanyoiset nemitei barak eng sipitalitab County Referral nebo Kapsabet. Kong'ololjin sirikab logoiwek eng sang nebo sipitalitab County kobor kaimetabgei familia koboto biikab kokwet kosubkei ak yautionotok bo tewernatet ole kamach ichek serikali kokochi kerkong'et neng'wan konamgei ak ng'atutikab emoni kiplelutionotok.
Kong'ololchin ketesiani eng sipitalitab County Referral nebo Kapsabet konerekyi familia nebo kipsomaniandanoto yautyonoto bo nyerset eng mwaet kole nyolu keipchi kakwautik chekimen chebo ng'atutik chechoto konyere kipsomaniandanoto ne werit kot koit konyor kakotonosiek cheechen.
Kemi ak mugulelwek chenyikisen kosubkei ak yautiet nekokyochi ng'etae ming'in kiwoktosi ko ki community.
Eng familia ko koitwech nyasutioni nebo aibu. Ameche amwa ale kijanayat komyoni ratat kijana ting diapers asking ngololi nguno mite sipitali kijana ya matinye korotik kijana ya nikokiteshi korotik lakwet akobo chito sokoranet
some the county government nenyonet ak serikalit nenyonet nebo Kenya sikobit kemwa ng'oliondo nitok ne LGBTQ nemakat keeshe kabisa korequesteni serikali sikobit kekimit ng'alekab sheria chebo ng'oliondo nitok.
Kates komwa ichek kole imuch kochang kipsomaninik chekikenyere eng komosata ole kasom ichek serikali korutochi komosata sikobit koyai chikilishet oret agenge nebo ketoret kipsomaninik cheimuch kobune kaimutik.
Somet nosome ane kabisa serikali nebo county government nebo Nandi kokonech taktarishek nyikepimanwech lagochu eng dispensary nebo kokwetab Kapsircha. Amu keng'ololi kouni kochang lagok cheung'otin chekibwoti kele tos kikochi ng'olyon neuni. Kepiman lagok eng dispensary Kapsircha kibwoti kele kinyoru cases chechang.
Kimoche kele korok kubwa kit nekoak kabisa kit nesamis nekichuptoi komakiyoni kong'emchi lakwetab biik sobet lakwet nemining akonyere lakwet nekichanayat akwochi tuguk chemakanye kemwa Nandi.
Kosubkei ak medical superintendent nebo sipitalit noto bo county referral nebo Kapsabet Dr. Richard Chepkwony komwa ine kole konyor kakotonoshek cheechen kipsomanianoto ole testai konyoru kanyoiset nemite barak.
A history of having been molested sexually by a person known to him. And severally, he reports that he had been molested for almost continuously for almost a week, and he received medication and was discharged home. Yesterday, he was readmitted to a facility with complaints of severe anemia, and right now he's been given 1 pint of blood and is due for another pint in an hour time.
Kebor ine kora kaimetabkei eng mwaet kole mayautiet inegei yautyonoto ole kokotestai koba barak yautik cheuchu chebo nyersetab kipsomaninik.
We've received 10 cases this year of sodomy. It is an emerging issue. For us who've been in practice for some time, it's been a rare thing, but it's an emerging issue which we need to sensitize society.
Kong'eteke county nebo Nandi logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Nelson Tarupei.
Kaindoji eng betutab rani President William Ruto lumdaetab tuyet netai nebo openness report eng kotab boror nebo Nairobi ngekustigon ikorata katestai.
The state of the openness of our country. I am proudly amazed at how sophisticated a country I lead. I mean, I'm sure there are very few countries that undertake this kind of conversation. State of openness is not a common thing. And I am very proud that while I do whatever I do in the office, there are other good Kenyans who are also doing some very useful work on how we can run the affairs of our nation in a space that there is adequate information to citizens and that we are open and transparent, obeying constitutional imperatives of transparency and accountability. And therefore, I commend CAJ and all the partners for undertaking this exercise. A confident government does not fear scrutiny. In fact, it welcomes scrutiny. And I have heard here about the stakeholders. You know, we have people from different spaces, from civil society, from the private sector, from government, from the opposition, and because we are not competitors, we are partners in forging a nation. And therefore, I'm very happy that Kenya is a member of the Open Government Partnership. I have been part of this movement in Kenya since when I was Deputy President. And I'm very happy that we will be making, hopefully in November, the first open government, or did you say open government? State of openness report. I think that's quite something. Government does not demand public trust. We must earn it. It is with that conviction that we gather here today to commission the preparation for Kenya's inaugural State of Openness report. Government does not become weaker by confronting the truth about themselves. They become stronger. Institutions do not earn public trust by demanding it. They earn it by serving the people honestly, fairly, and openly. That is why this administration has chosen to create the very instruments by which it will measure itself. This is more than a technical exercise. It is a national undertaking that reflects not only the value of our Constitution, but also the kind of government we are determined to build. Around the world, trust in public institutions is under growing pressure. Technology has expanded access to information, but it has also accelerated misinformation, disinformation, and the spread and manipulation of fake news. As a result, citizens are asking harder questions of government, and rightfully so. Trust cannot be simply claimed, it must therefore be earned. While I sat here and listening to what we are trying to do, in the context of where we are today, with so much information available in the public space because of technology, and with the accompanying challenges of misinformation and fake news, openness now is much more important even for government than anybody else. I think government needs openness more than any other time in our history. Because unless there is a place where people can get accurate information, unless there is availability of accurate information, and government is open enough for us to be to account for whatever is going on, then we could easily be swarmed by misinformation and fake news. Openness
Get Africa's best entertainment anytime, anywhere, and now for even less.
Here's what we're here for, duh.
With DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber.
Wow.
Just dial *400# then 0 to choose this DSTV offer. Select your Safaricom Home Fiber account and the DSTV Stream package you want, now at a discounted price. Then select your home fiber plan, confirm payment, pay using your M-Pesa PIN, and click on the link received to sign in to your new DSTV Stream account.
Simple.
Then enjoy the best movies, series, and sport in Africa at its best price ever. Only with DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber. T's and C's apply.
There are stories that make the heart race. Where love is born in the most dangerous moments.
Ali was actually Poyraz Ali.
Each secret can destroy everything. Love, passion, power, lies.
It's not the first time you let me down. It was my mistake for trusting an idiot like you.
The dramas that make you feel everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus.
In banking ng Stanbic Bank, kiyani gel sabet ko hindi ko karanitu eng betu sekte mitatay. Ko una to baga manut ka kwa utigalak tugol che ibe en ingone. Onge tu yen en Stanbic Eldoret Roadshow negiego mut kasi tarektaman aktisaba age taunen Zion Mall yetageta kigelangas Jerusalem Kimomo Chepkoilel Junction Ainab Koi Marura ak Chepkanga. Amachinyo aswabiti inet kecha chango tinge aga kwa utichata che imi eng sabet ako lemut ko toret bengit noto nebo Stanbic Bank. Nyon aswabiti nyoru kababaitet koboto kora konunoto ichachang kobun Stanbic Bank. Obwatugul asikobit otuye ak Stanbic Eldoret branch team koboto kabrastoi chebo Kass FM ko 183 Chero Road Poti Balbi ak kesirne nyalbo logoyek Isaac Kogei MC Edu ak DJ Mark Sirma. Eng witugul olemi eng sabet chi ngoga eng boisiet eng mungaret ak boisiet age tugul kobo komonut. Noton amune sikolenjin Stanbic Bank kimi asikobit kebore tugul. Stanbic Bank, keep growing.
Never fail me, even if I fail you. You never leave me, even if I leave you, Lord. L'agno per la presa mamma, la tufe, la canon so petit canca, Shons coucou.
to be my lawfully wedded wife. I promise to love you, honor you, protect you,
and remain faithful to you, for better or for worse. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Just sit to the beat.
Kalema rani en gopani en tumdo ne anyin
Asa sweetie ne ochomeo etunyora tule tumdo.
Rudi nyuma kidogo.
Tule tumdo.
Kwenda chini.
Weka tule tumdo. Tule tumdo. Tule tumdo. Tule tumdo.
Aya subuka.
Never fail me, even if I fail you. You never leave me, even if I leave you, Lanyo pela presa mama, la tufe, la kanan so petit kanka, shons coucou. BF, 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 BF. Never.
You, Sharon Delagat, to be my lawfully wedded wife. I promise to love you, honor you, protect you,
and remain faithful to you, for better or for worse. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Just sit to the beat.
Kalema rani en gopani en tumdo ne anyin
Asa sweetie ne ochomeo etunyora tule tumdo.
Rudi nyuma kidogo.
Tule tumdo.
Kwenda chini.
Weka tule tumdo. Tule tumdo. Tule tumdo. Tule tumdo.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, representatives of the government and civil society and also the diplomatic corps and international organizations, really a great pleasure to be here today in the morning and to make these rather short and also somewhat unscripted remarks, I would like to say. First of all, I just want to underline that this is a very important moment, and I think that the work that you have had, indeed, I think that the outline that you put forward is incredibly ambitious. It's a very, very serious work, significant load, I would say, and we are, from our perspectives as the EU, very supportive of it. Kenya, of course, is a very long-term partner of the Open Government Initiative. You have an ongoing action plan, which is coming to an end in 2027, and you have also conducted your review, the midterm review in June 2026, and you have these 4 different clusters of commitments under the open information ecosystem, the financial integrity and accountability, the inclusive democracy and justice, and also the open government resilience. And it's that last one, the open government resilience, where you have committed to the delivery of the State of Openness report. But I want to say that this is just one of the commitments that actually appears in the action plan. And so we take that as a great step forward and, of course, look forward to also working on the other commitments that you have there. We as the EU are working very closely with the Open Government Initiative. We have a global partnership around the Partnership for Democracy and Accountability, and we support that partnership also financially, and that financial assistance has been also to the benefit of Kenya. We believe that we are aligned with Kenya around the objective of the initiative, the fact that, of course, open government is more accessible, more responsive, and also more accountable to the citizens. So the type of things that you and us are trying to improve, I think, every day. It's a non-stop work. You can't really reach the end point. I think this is a continuous process. And so I very much welcome the efforts that you have here. And I think the other element that I want to underline here is the inclusion of the civil society, which we see as also as very important. This is one of the issues for us in the European Union. And so I welcome the group that you have, and also the fact that the civil society is here and is speaking at the launch. We, just like Germany, stand with you, wish you good luck, and if we can be of any assistance, please do come to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Andre. Indeed, you're right to mention that there are several other critical deliverables under the plan, the National Action Plan. And I know that His Excellency the President, for example, has agreed to host the Global Trust Summit towards the end of October to basically bring to bear even greater political commitment, to these imperatives. UNODC, please, and then the World Bank thereafter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, President of the Republic, Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, partners, all protocols observed, good morning. Let me start by saying that it is a pleasure and honor for me to be here and to represent the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and the wider UN system here in Kenya. Let me start by saying that there is strong interest and commitment within the UN system to support this very, very important initiative, and this includes agencies like mine, UNODC, but I'd like to note also other sister agencies like UNESCO and others who are actively engaged in this process. In my intervention, let me say a few words on the UN Convention Against Corruption, the work we do to support implementation of this convention across the globe and in Kenya, and why this initiative to develop report on the state of openness is important for the implementation of this convention. Kenya is a state party to the UN Convention Against Corruption. Kenya actively participates in the implementation review mechanism for this convention, and Kenya is also a very active participant in the conference of the state parties to support implementation of this convention at the global level, and UNODC is the guardian for this convention at the global level. Based on this partnership, we are very proud that Kenya hosts our UNODC anti-corruption hub here in Nairobi, and we're very proud to promote anti-corruption, to promote good governance, integrity, transparency and rule of law across the African continent from the hub here in Nairobi. At the same time, we are also implementing flagship initiatives that support the fight against corruption in Kenya, and I'd like to mention in particular the program on legal empowerment and aid delivery PLEAD, which is funded by the European Union. The UN Convention Against Corruption requires a comprehensive approach. This means an active response to corruption when it happens and active work to prevent corruption. If we look at some of the trends and developments and results of the work that is happening here in Kenya, I would like to note significant progress during the past year. For example, the volume of stolen assets that have been traced in Kenya is continuously going up, with 22.9 billion shillings recovered during the past year. I note also very important developments in terms of strengthening the legislative framework for the fight against corruption, with the adoption of a Conflict of Interest Act and also a Virtual Asset Service Providers Act in 2025. Likewise, we see important initiatives in law enforcement, in the justice system, in the work of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, with new guidelines on prosecution of corruption and economic crimes adopted by ODPP. Likewise, the Kenya Prison Service has adopted an anti-corruption policy, and for the first time, the National Police Service conducted a systems review, which is also a very important initiative. Finally, let me note this year the publication for the first time of a survey on the gender dimensions of corruption. And finally, coming back to the topic of this discussion, the State of Openness report, we believe that this additional initiative is a very important building block to further complement this comprehensive approach in the fight against corruption. Let me confirm with UNODC that we stand ready to support this exercise. This will include methodological support. This can include support with data analysis, cleaning, weighting, and the further development of the report. Finally, let me acknowledge, as was already mentioned in some of the other interventions, the importance of partnerships. We're very happy to see, for example, development of collaboration between the Commission on Administrative Justice and the Kenya Bureau of Statistics in this exercise. Likewise, we see the important involvement of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission as the lead agency on anti-corruption in Kenya, who have committed also to support the report through the recently established African Center for Anti-Corruption Studies and Research. Finally, again, one more time, our full support from the UN system to this exercise. We believe that openness, transparency is important, not just for the fight against corruption, but for trust in the country, for social cohesion in the country. And we know that openness boosts economic growth, it boosts trade, it boosts development. Congratulations on this initiative, and we stand ready to fully support you in this exercise. Thank you.
Your Excellency, my name is Morada Kinuthia, representing my Divisional Director, Chimia Fan, from the World Bank. Maybe before I make the remarks on the topic of the day, allow me, with your permission, to thank High Commissioner Matt for recognizing the glorious morning, despite the events of last night. For those who are following the match, Argentina versus England, we were not going to let that slide. But just to say that this important event at a personal level, I'm very happy. I mean, many years ago, actually, when I worked for DFID, we supported the Access to Information Act that then people were working on, and to have seen the journey that we have walked on is quite good. We've also worked very closely with the OGP agenda as the World Bank globally, and Kenya has always been a leader in this agenda. But I think beyond the sort of conventions that we have spoken about, to bring this down from an abstract to a very real level, one of the projects I lead is FLOCA, the Financing Locally Led Climate Action. And a principal tenet is that communities need to get bill of quantities for projects that are being done. I was in Kwale 2 weeks ago with the governor there in Kinondo, and the first thing that communities asked is, where is the bill of quantities for this project? We've done amazing work with CAJ in supporting counties to develop grievance redress systems. I can say 80% of the complaints we are getting from counties are about information. Now I have to go to Emitiot in Bomet, where we've been asked questions about what was supposed to have been delivered in this. So I think being able to create the kind of benchmarks, indicators that are being mentioned here is critical. And it's not just about international frameworks, it's very real for citizens and communities on the ground. I also want to say that, say that beyond just a report, it's working on those sort of mechanisms to be able to implement that. And maybe to end, to say that together with our partners, the UK and Denmark, under the Kenya Accountable Devolution Program, we'll stand ready to support this work and we'll walk the journey with you. Asanteni sana.
Your Excellency, I believe you've been edified by the different presentations that really significantly demonstrate the centrality of this agenda. Allow me then, Your Excellency, with a lot of humility, to request my colleagues to be upstanding as we invite you to address us. Let's put our hands together for the President of the Republic.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this very important meeting. Just by way of background, on, I think, Tuesday, there was an attempt to sneak this report to my office, an attempt which I effectively sabotaged and insisted that discussing openness can only be discussed in an open forum. And therefore, I ask that this meeting be rescheduled so that we can have this meeting in this open place rather than in a room in my office. And admittedly, listening to the vice chair, the chair of the CAJ, and the conversation that is going on here about the state of the openness of our country, I am proudly amazed at how sophisticated a country I lead. I mean, I'm sure there are very few countries that undertake this kind of conversation. State of openness is not a common thing. And I am very proud that while I do whatever I do in the office, there are other good Kenyans who are also doing some very useful work on how we can run the affairs of our nation in a space that there is adequate information to citizens and that we are open and transparent, obeying constitutional imperatives of transparency and accountability. And therefore, I commend CAJ and all the partners for undertaking this exercise. A confident government does not fear scrutiny. In fact, it welcomes scrutiny. And I have heard here about the stakeholders. You know, we have people from different spaces, from civil society, from the private sector, from government, from the opposition, and because we are not competitors, we are partners in forging a nation. And therefore, I'm very happy that Kenya is a member of the Open Government Partnership. I have been part of this movement in Kenya since when I was Deputy President. And I'm very happy that we will be making, hopefully in November, the first open government, you said open government? State of openness report. I think that's quite something. Government does not demand public trust. We must earn it. It is with that conviction that we gather here today to commission the preparation for Kenya's inaugural State of Openness report. Government does not become weaker by confronting the truth about themselves. They become stronger. Institutions do not earn public trust by demanding it. They earn it by serving the people honestly, fairly, and openly. That is why this administration has chosen to create the very instruments by which it will measure itself. This is more than a technical exercise. It is a national undertaking that reflects not only the value of our Constitution, but also the kind of government we are determined to build. Around the world, trust in public institutions is under growing pressure. Technology has expanded access to information, but it has also accelerated misinformation, disinformation, and the spread and manipulation of fake news. As a result, citizens are asking harder questions of government, and rightfully so. Trust cannot be simply claimed, it must therefore be earned. While I sat here and listening to what we are trying to do, in the context of where we are today, with so much information available in the public space because of technology, and with the accompanying challenges of misinformation and fake news, openness now is much more important even for government than anybody else. I think government needs openness more than any other time in our history. Because unless there is a place where people can get accurate information, unless there is availability of accurate information, and government is open enough for us to be to account for whatever is going on, then we could easily be swarmed by misinformation and fake news. Openness goes beyond administrative practice. It therefore becomes the foundation of democratic legitimacy. Our Constitution recognizes this from the very beginning. Article 10 enshrines transparency and accountability among our national values, while Article 35 guarantees every Kenyan the right of access to information. These are not aspirations. They are constitutional obligations that must be renewed through action. Today's commissioning is one such action. It gives effect to that constitutional promise, fulfills our commitment to institutionalize open governance across all state organs and agencies through an annual State of Openness report, as pledged in the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto, and delivers on Kenya's 5th National Action Plan under the OGP. Kenya's democratic journey has always been defined by our determination to strengthen institutions rather than personalities. As our democracy matures, Kenyans rightfully expect more than promise. They expect openness, accountability, and measurable results. This report responds to that expectation by establishing a national benchmark against which our public institutions can continuously measure and improve their performance. At its heart, it seeks to answer one consequential question: is openness making government work better for the people? Answering that question requires more than measuring compliance with laws, policies, and procedures. It requires us to determine whether openness is improving public services, strengthening accountability, enhancing the stewardship of public resources, making institutions more responsive, and ultimately improving the lives of the Kenyan people. The report must tell us where we are succeeding, where we are falling short, and what reforms are needed to achieve better outcomes. Honest assessment is not a sign of institutional weakness. It is one of the strongest foundations of effective government. And if we are to assess openness, we must do so openly. The methodology must be transparent, the evidence must be credible, the consultations must be inclusive, and the findings must be independent. That is why it is fitting that this important national exercise is being led by the Commission on Administrative Justice, an independent institution entrusted with safeguarding administrative justice and the right of access to information. This inaugural report should establish the national baseline against which future progress will be measured. Over time, it should become Kenya's authoritative reference point on openness, institutional performance, and public trust, guiding reforms, strengthening institutions, and enabling citizens to judge how effectively government is serving them. I therefore expect every ministry, state department, agency, constitutional commission, and county government to cooperate fully by providing accurate information and participating in a rigorous and credible assessment. And I will instruct the head of public service to make sure that all government departments, ministries, agencies avail all the information to this exercise so that we can openly report to the people of Kenya where we are and where we are going. I equally encourage civil society, the private sector, academia, the media, and every Kenyan to participate actively in this process. The strength of this report will depend on the quality of the evidence it gathers and the diversity of the perspectives it reflects. This administration remains firmly committed to building a more open government through greater transparency, stronger accountability, wider access to information, and continued digital transformation. As I say this, I know my special envoy on technology is sitting right here. Right from the beginning, we decided that we were going to eliminate areas that give government gray information. I remember when we started the journey of opening government through digitization, there was a bit of resistance in areas, especially in financial spaces. I remember we had close to 1,000 pay bills in government. Every state department had their own corner. Every agency had their own thing. We decided that we were going to digitize the whole of government. Government services that were digitized in 2022 were about 350. Today, we have 26,000 government services digitized. And on a digital platform, people can access government information, government services, pay for those services. We have eliminated, to a great extent, payment in any other form other than digitally, because you can easily trace who paid, where was it paid, for what service. I remember we ran into a lot of problems with people who did not want to pay for government services on the digital space. They still wanted to carry cash, they still wanted to carry checks, and we insisted that going forward, no government service is going to be paid for in cash. No government service is going to be paid for otherwise, other than either by electronic transfer or by other digital platforms. And the results have been phenomenal. We have not only enhanced government revenue collection, but we have also eliminated, the sticky cash, transactions that end up undermining transparency and, in fact, promoting corruption. And so it was our first point of call to say we must move government services from being on paper and many other spaces onto a digital platform. Number two, we undertook that government procurement is also going to be done on a digital platform so that we know who is tendering, for what amount is it being tendered, and who are the ultimate beneficial owners of the companies that are trading with government. The EGP platform has been there for the last 12 years, but it has never been implemented until we did it last year. Again, it's providing us with an open platform where government procurement is subjected to scrutiny. And so long as you participate, the data is available. We know who is applying, we know for how much, and we know who has been awarded and why. And are they the most competitive or are they not? There is still some little pushback in some areas, but I'm very happy that we are making demonstrable progress. The third item that I want to quote as we do this report is government-owned agencies or government-owned enterprises. We've been grappling for the last 15 years on making sure that those who serve in boards of parastatals and government agencies are competitively recruited and we minimize political influence. The most difficult things, I remember the first report on government-owned enterprises produced by Abdikadir was done 12 years ago, but it was not possible to implement. We tried to take it to Parliament, it became difficult, but I am very happy that finally, last year, we managed to pass the law on government-owned enterprises, and as a result, boards of commercial enterprises, 66 of them, we have had to retire close to 250 board members so that we can competitively hire professionals to run those parastatals. And we set the benchmark very high. And I must commend Parliament because Parliament passed a law that actually limits the participation of politicians in boards. The GOE Act bill that I signed into law now says if you have been in a political office you cannot serve in parastatal boards at least for 5 years. You must stay out for 5 years. So that has been a very big bone of contention. But finally, we are now recruiting professionals to run Kenya Airports Authority, and many other agencies to introduce greater openness, bring more independent people into the management of government resources or government institutions. And all of us know of the conflict of interest bill that stayed in Parliament for a while because it provided greater scrutiny and demanded more openness in transactions that involve people that wield political power from whatever level. And that demand is now part of our statutes, injecting greater transparency, more openness, and I am very sure greater accountability to the people. And I remember quite recently when we enacted the National Infrastructure Fund Act that will manage quite a pool of resources in our infrastructure space. We also crafted into the law a proper mechanism that will introduce greater openness and greater transparency in the management of that fund. The only participation of the president is to appoint the council. And I appointed the council of eminent people who had served at the Afri-Exim Bank and many other places. And they now undertook the process of recruiting a competent board. And the board then will do the rest to create more buffers that limits conflict of interest or people getting into spaces where there is no greater accountability or transparency. I am very happy that that process is moving in the right direction, and we are injecting greater, believability and confidence in the people of Kenya to know that their resources are being managed properly. So this report speaks to the very things that I strongly believe in. And therefore you have, I saw the chairman said that to demonstrate my commitment to openness, I should come and participate in the State of the Openness report, the launch. Mr. Chairman, I don't have to demonstrate by coming to, I already believe in it. So I will come as part of making sure that this happens, but not in any way to demonstrate my commitment. I am very committed. This is an exercise that, this is a journey I've walked with the OGP over time. It is therefore my honor to formally commission the preparation of Kenya's inaugural State of the Openness report and to direct the relevant public institutions to extend their full cooperation to the Commission on Administrative Justice in delivering a rigorous, independent, and nationally significant assessment. I know that you have mentioned about some resources that are required. The AG should work with the Treasury to make sure we avail the resources necessary for them. I remember you mentioned something like 100 million. AG, please, let's find, and if you run into trouble, you look for me, so that we can support this. We can support these good people. And Mr. Chairman, I will make sure that all other people that are that need to provide information will do so. So that. Thank you very much. May this report become a lasting measure of our fidelity to the Constitution, our accountability to the people, and our determination to build a government that earns trust through openness, integrity, and service. I want to thank our partners for agreeing to work with us. I invite all other stakeholders, the media, the private sector, the civil society, our independent commissions, and everybody else to be part of this exercise as we grow our country into a mature, open, independent, democratic state. Again, I am very proud this morning to be a leader in a very sophisticated country like Kenya. Thank you very much.
There are stories that make the heart race. Where love is born in the most dangerous moments.
Ali was actually Poyraz Ali.
Each secret can destroy everything. Love, passion, power, lies.
It's not the first time you let me down. It was my mistake for trusting an idiot like you.
The dramas that make you feel everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitkei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik chok, sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en namba 5552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit neichome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet.
Get Africa's best entertainment anytime, anywhere, and now for even less.
Here's what we're here for, duh.
With DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber.
Wow.
Just dial *400# then 0 to choose this DSTV offer. Select your Safaricom Home Fiber account and the DSTV Stream package you want, now at a discounted price. Then select your home fiber plan, confirm payment, pay using your M-Pesa PIN, and click on the link received to sign in to your new DSTV Stream account. Then enjoy the best movies, series, and sport in Africa at its best price ever. Only with DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber. T's and C's apply.
In bengi mong nabastan big bank, kiyani gela sabet ko hindi ko karanitu eng betusek chemite tai. Ko una to baga manut ka kwa utigan laktugol che ibe en ingone. Onge tuyen en Stanbic Eldoret Roadshow negiego mut kasi tarik taman aktisab age taunen Zion Mall yetageta kigen Langas, Jerusalem, Kimomo, Chepkoilel Junction, Ainabkoi, Marura ak Chepkanga. Amache inyo asikobiti inetke chachango tinge ako kwa utik chota che imi eng sabet ako leimut kotoret bengit noton nebo Stanbic Bank. Nyon asikobit inyoru kababaitet koboto kora konotoi chachang kobun Stanbic Bank. Obwat tugul asikobit otuye ak Stanbic Eldoret branch team koboto kabrastoi chebo Kass FM ko 183 Riza Chero Road, Poti Balbi ak sirne nyalbo logoyek Isaac Kogey, MC Edu ak DJ Mark Sirma. Eng wik tugul olemi eng sabet chi ngoka eng boisiet eng mungaret ak boisiet age tugul kobo komonut. Noton amune sikolenjin Stanbic Bank kimi asikobit kebore tugul. Stanbic Bank, keep growing.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Reconnect GoTV Yako for only 999 shillings today, only on GoTV.
To be my lawfully wedded wife. I promise to love you, honor you, protect you,
and remain faithful to you, for better or for worse. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Just sit to the beat.
Kalema rani en gopon en tumdon ne anyin
Asa sweetie neo chomeo etunyora tuletumda. Rudi nyuma kidogo. Tuletumda. Kwenda chumba na wata tuletumda. 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 Tuletumda na wata. Aya sunguka hivi.
Chamgaijitab Kalenjin amang'ung'ui tugul ole imite koibaibai ak ikere ketesiet nebo Kass TV itagat eng logoiwekab emet kigurena Jacqueline Arusei. Akomong minista anan CC nebo kabatisiet eng serikalitab county nebo Nakuru Leonard Bor akosom meng'ik kobun kuresoi koisto kandoik chekamwa kole akowekta let bandab tai eng komasatak. Ng'ololi eng Lang'wenda nemite nyota komwa Bor kole akotestai alak eng kandoik chebo kuresoi ak atebosiek chemanyoljin kandoik mising koboisie neranik eng oret nea.
Gongolali yekangorutochi akochikil oret nebo Lang'wenda torokwa en wadit nebo Nyota akorutochi familia agenge en komosaton kokakimit CEC anan minister nebo kabatisiet en county nebo Nakuru Leonard Bor kole maketab serikalitab county nebo Nakuru koker kole kakikanapta ortinwek asikomuch kotoret kabatik komanda rurutikwak koba siro.
Amun niton angen ale wendi kobose garametab temisiet amun en abokora ko kename pikipiki komanda viasiat anan kecheng terekta komanda viasiat lakini anan ko chego akine kechenge koui ele itito market lakini from now angen ale kakonyumnyumit ng'alek choton chele kiaccessendai market koto ng'alekab viasi koto ng'alekab bandek ak ng'alekab chekyok amun temik biikab koroni nekingen kora kele kitindoi cooperative agenge en ireu noton nebo kapteta ne through intervention nebo county government ko kikenyoru kulait noton kit nekishua kele ngobare tuoe barabarani kakinde koik ak kaketiech konome lorit konyone koibe chego badala noton nekotokiibe ko niton kwendi kobose garametab production.
Manerekyin kit nekamwa kole alak en kandoik chekakoboisie neranik en komosaton kowaken kandoik alak ak mising kong'em tuiyosiek en mwaet kole niton ko nekakowekta let bandab tai en komosaton.
Anomwe ng'alek achon nyome amani kesom kura en kalyet anan chekiwirotegei. Omoche chekibiregei, omoche chebo nyundoit, ainon age nemamwa. Amwa nyundoit, amwa chekityoregei, amwa nebo kipchuguniet, ainon age nemamwa. Koita, ainon age nebo ket. Tarimboit, beletet, ak nebo tush, kokoit koronio, akile nan komoe matalo en koroni, omoe siasa cheu chon. Kit nekimoe kemwa kesome siasa chebo amani. Ako en boisiet kotindoi chitugul ofisinyin nekimoche kemwa raini kele ingoyai chitugul kasit kotiengei ofisit nekikilioi nekikikochi.
Kosubkei ak noton kosom inendet meng'ik chebo county nebo Nakuru ak mising ko kuresoi komatkoyan kandoik cheu choton.
Otatebie sibare kelele kechobokyi nabas biik. Aswe alak lelote uchamuan biik kyok kokonon tutam amun ko amonoyot. Kokakilen kainanatet komi chekebore amonoyot. Miten boisiet nekelyonen. Koyan kokas nelelen okonon amun ko amonoyot en ikonyen. Ona ole kimanai kit nekisome. Position isome ingen ile ne nemoche iyochi biik.
Akot kounoton ko kaibarasta inendet makenyin nebo kosom ng'echeret nebo MP en Kuresoi North ole kamwa kole makenyin ko kowal kandoinatet nebo Kuresoi North ak mising koker kole kaipchi bandab tai komoswek tugul chebo Kuresoi North.
Ko kamoche sachulchin ne alei Lensco komiten kiwanjet ak ami kwane ako wadosi kokwek chomuani. Ako nai very clearly kole ng'echeret nosome ko ng'echeret noton nebo Muchumbe MP nebo Kuresoi North. Akesome anosome akesome kora en kalyet. Kisome en kalyet makisome ak ng'alek chekiwirotegei amakisome ak ng'alek chekichubotegei.
Kongeten county nebo Nakuru, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass. Kainenyun ko Sylvester Rono.
Mache mengikab Rimoi serikali kotelel ngotetab Rimoi Game Reserve netesetai eng inguni agoi kobit walutietab kipchulyo kotinygei ak terchinet nebo kiwato nebo mbarenikab biik ak nebo mbuganotok. Kamwa mengichotok kole mitei njambetab kesirto anan kosirto kibagenge notok bo KWS kiwato nebo mbuganotok agoi mbaronik, kit nekamwa kole bendi kapkirwok asiketelel kakwoutienotok.
Tetat koba kapkirwok mengikab Rimoi eng county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet chemeng'isie ole negite mbugetab tiong'ikab timin nebo Rimoi National Reserve asikokoito rirekwai komache kitelel kakwoutiet netesetai kibagengeitab KWS ng'otet anan keretab mbuganoto. Kong'ololi eng tuyet nekayum bororiosiek chemengech chenemu mbaronik eng komosato choto ko Irong Cheboror clans komwa mengichoto kole kosubkei ak kayanchinet nekityi icheket koboto KWS kotetat keker kilomitaisiek 65 ne agoi nguni kokosirto kibagengeinata keretab kilomitaisiek choto kiyonchin icheket.
We call for immediate suspension of this exercise because it is being undertaken while fundamental land ownership and boundary disputes remain unanswered. County government and wildlife service also should stop this fencing forthwith. We expect these commitments to be honored because we've had a series of meetings which we agreed that we suspend any fencing activity.
So kimache kemwa kele kibendi kotini ako nebo let kabakach tuyet. Ngalek chetesetai eng yu komakiyan.
Karirtae membaek choto bo bororiosiek choto kakwoutiet nekokerta icheket ofisaekab police koboto chebo KWS komat kosuldae tuyonoto.
Kimache kemwa kele mutyo tuguk chekikere ane kasapos ketinye tuyet ak keker tuguk chetesetai eng kapkem. Keitu yu kele kenye police ak KWS pakekerta biikab kobo koret. Kekerchei sang nekikwonge kele amune. So kamache kemwa kele ngalechu tugul kokoib ngalekab corruption. Amu rabisiek chekikitangasan CS nebo tourism Rebecca Miano kokimwa kele kakon rabisiek 215 million. 205 million. Lakini rani kengololi ko tuguk chetesetai eng yu chekatayo bichu kekeker kokeiwei keker kenai kele ne netesetai. Tuguk chekirisie eng yu kakinam ketik chekikonunyo chekikwam toik kewekyi orit ak kekarta biikab kobo koret maker.
Akot kunoto kokamwa membaek choto bo bororiosiek choto kole mitei njametab kinaktae kiwoto noto bo mbuganoto kotokchigei mbaronik kwai.
Bas gerisiet tesetai ndamatesetai.
Ile kiasi ya shamba ambayo tulikubaliana nao ni kilomita mraba 66 square kilometers. Na kwa ground sisi wenyeji tunajua kwamba tumeipiwa sababu ile shamba wamefunga ni zaidi ya ile 66 square kilometers. Tukifanya vile tunaijua ni zaidi ya 100 square kilometers. So wananchi hatujafurahia kama wenyeji wa clans hizo 4, na tunaambia serikali tafadhali muongoze kwa njia inayoonyesha kwamba nyinyi mnaheshimu sheria, nyinyi mnachali sheria.
Kongete county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Andrew Kimeto.
Tesetai familia agenge kobun kokwetab Kapsiricho eng kot neking'atyi ng'atutik nebo Emgwen eng county nebo Nandi kocheng'e imanda kosubkei ak yautiet nemwat kele kokinyere lakwa nebo kenyisiek 14 nemaititotin kabwatutik muren agenge nebo kenyisiek 24 ole konyor lakwanatak kakotunosiek cheyachen ole tesetai konyoru kanyoiset nemitei barak eng sipitalitab county nebo Kapsabet. Ong'ololchin sirikab logoiwek eng sang nebo sipitalitab county referral nebo Kapsabet okaibor kaimetab ke familia koboto biikab kokwet kosubkei ak yautyonotok bo tewernatet ole kasom ichek serikali kokochi kerkong'et neng'wan konamgei ak ng'atutikab emoni kiplelutiondonotok.
Kong'alalchin ketesian eng sipitalitab County Referral nebo Kapsabet, konerekyi familia nebo kipsomaniandanoto yautyonoto bo nyerset eng mwaet kole nyolu keipchi kakwautik chekimen chebo ng'atutik chichoto konyere kipsomaniandanoto ne werit kot koit konyor kakotonoshek cheechen.
Kemi ak mugulelwek che nyikisen kosubkei ak yautiet nekokyochi ng'etae ming'in kiwoktosi ko ki community.
Eng familia ko koitwech nyasutioni nebo aibu. Ameche amwa ale kijanayat komyoni. Ratat kijanayat eng diapers as keng'ololi nguno mitei sipitali kijanayat. Matinye korotik kijanayat nekokiteshi korotik lakwet akobo chito sokoranet.
Some the county government nenyonet ak serikalit nenyonet nebo Kenya sikobit kemwa ng'olyondonitok ne LGBTQ nemakat keeshe kabisa. Korequesteni serikali sikobit kekimit ng'alekab sheria chebo ng'olyondonitok.
Kates komwa ichek kole imuch kochang kipsomaninik chekikenyere eng komosata ole kasom ichek serikali korutochi komosata sikobit koai chikilishet oret agenge nebo ketoret kipsomaninik cheimuch kobune kaimutik.
Somet nosome ane kabisa serikali nebo county government nebo Nandi kokonech taktarishek nyikepimanwech lagochu eng dispensary nebo kokwetab Kapsirchai. Amu keng'ololi kouni komchang lagok cheung'otin chekibwoti kele tos kikochi ng'olyon neuni. Kepiman lagok eng dispensary Kapsirchai kibwoti kele kinyoru cases chechang.
Kimache kele korok kubwa kit nekoak kabisa kit nesamis nekichuptoi komakiyani kong'emchi lakwetab biik sobet lakwet nemining akonyere lakwet nekijanayat akwachi tuguk chemakanye kemwa Nandi.
Kosubkei ak medical superintendent nebo sipitali noto bo County Referral nebo Kapsabet Dr. Richard Chepkwony komwa ine kole konyor kakotonoshek cheechen kipsomaniandanoto ole testai konyoru kanyaiset nemitei barak.
A history of having been molested sexually by a person known to him. And severally, he reports that he had been molested almost continuously for almost a week, and he received medication and was discharged home. Yesterday, he was readmitted to a facility with complaints of severe anemia, and right now he's been given 1 pint of blood and is due for another pint in an hour time.
Kebor ine kora kaimetabkei eng mwaet kole mayautiet inegei yautyonoto ole kokotestai koba barak yautik cheu chu chebo nyersetab kipsomaninik.
We've received 10 cases this year of sodomy. It is an emerging issue. For us who've been in practice for some time, it's been a rare thing, but it's an emerging issue which we need to sensitize society.
Kong'eteke county nebo Nandi logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Nelson Tarupei.
Kagomwa County Commissioner nebo Kericho Omar Ali kole magat eng kasarta nekitokchingei bolotetab kenyitab lewenishet nenyone ko magat eng biikab emet komeng'is eng kalyet ak keistoegei yautik cheimuch kong'em kalyet. Kasam meng'ikab Londiani ak komoswek cheterter eng county nebo Kericho koistoegei yautik cheimuch kowech kalyet eng inguni eng kasarwek tugul.
Kamwa County Commissioner kole en kasarta nekitokchingei bolotet ak lewenishetab kenyit nenyone nebo kenyitab 2027 ko magat eng meng'ikab Londiani ak komoswek cheterter eng county nebo Kericho koibchi kamanut kalyet asikeistoegei yautik chemakararan.
Tunaelekea mwaka ujao tutakuwa na elections, na ile kitu nawasihi watu wa Londiani, na I'm happy with our honorable MP amekuwa na mikutano. Tunataka amani Londiani. Tuseme tunataka nini? Amani. Tunataka nini? Amani. Tunataka amani. Bila amani kila mtu anajua kile kitatokea. Kwa hivyo hapa Londiani ama hapa Kericho yote tunataka tuwe na amani.
Kosubkei ak Omar Ali kotesetai ak tetutikab korutechi komoswek cheterter en county nebo Kericho en tuyoshekab kalyet asikomeng'is biikab emet en mieindo.
Nitasema tu tutakuwa na mikakati ya kuzunguka Kericho yote, na tutakuta kila mtu kama ni kijana, wamama, watu wa makanisa, elders na kila mtu, ili tukae chini tuongee mambo ya amani.
En kasaratan komach County Commissioner neranik ak biikab emet koistoengei cheibe ng'atutik en eunekwak en kasarta nekabit ng'oyondit anan ko nyasutik asikebaorionchi kalyet.
Gari iligonga mtu wa sijini wa bodaboda na ikawekwa kiberiti. Why do we take law into our hands? Wani tuchukulie sheria kwa mikono yetu. Let us follow the law. Vijana tuache hiyo na tuache mambo ya kutumia miadarati na pombe.
Kamwa MP nebo Kipkelianis en county nebo Kericho Joseph Cherorot kole oretab kokimit neranik akoib walet en sobenywan kokotoige teksetab ketisietab muswoknotet anan ICT hub nebo Kipkelion East asikokochi neranik konyor boisiet ak koboisien muswoknotet en oret nenyolu.
Leo tumekuja hapa wakati waziri alifika, tumezindua mradi ya ICT hub hapo karibu na ofisi yangu hapo, na vile tumezindua hiyo mradi ni kwa sababu vijana wetu wapate kufanya online business. Pia tumejenga ile Aception ambaye saa hii imefika rental. Nataka kusema hivi, tumepitia barabara ambayo imechimbwa hapa. Hii ni barabara ambayo serikali imetupatia.
Aripoten logoiwekab emet chebo Kass kong'eten county nebo Kericho, kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Karutechi komiti nebo ad hoc committee county nebo Kericho asikojigil boisietab rabisiek en komosatok.
Kong'ololjin sirikab logoiwek en County Assembly nebo Kericho komwa kandoindetab chechang en County Assembly noton Philip Rono kole tokyingei County Assembly chikiletab rabisiek cheite bilionisiek 10 chekinyor county nebo Kericho en kenyitab mung'aret nekosirto.
Ko yan kakiker kenyitab serikali kemoe kenai kele rabinik 10 billion chekibo Kericho chekikakipitishan en budget ko kikiboisien en oret ainon. Ko noton amune kitebe ngunon kele kikokindewok rabinikab sipitali owal brangetisyek kabar biik koristo wagonjwa chemi sipitali chebo Referral Hospital ak chebo Sub County Hospital. Kokiteb kora kele kikokindewok rabinikab kerichek kalyan wagonjwa chemong'u en district konyokwole kerichek tugul en kemis chemi nje en sipitali. Chemi kapkatet komong'u nyokwole, chemi Londiani komong'u nyokwole. So tepset kityo nebo County Assembly o kasitab County Assembly.
Kosubkei ak Rono konoton ko boisietab County Assembly nebo Kericho ole manyolu kobit ng'alalet nemuse tokyinetabgei nebo MCAs.
Kikokinde rabinik chekialen kawek chekiipchin wananchi, chekialen majani chai, chekialen mananas chebukomine wananchi, chekialen macadamia, chekialen avocado. Kemoe kenai kityo kele kingindewok rabinichu okyoal avocado chetian, okyoib koba ano, okinyor ng'o, who are the beneficiaries. So chon ko kasitab County Assembly, motindo kasit age neu. So agere kityo orogendos biik ko koleini kasitab MCA ko kikikoi kele primary oversight kwo MCA, secondary oversight nebo county kwo Senate. So kakinam kasinyon kityo ngap kobek kenyit konye, kemoe kityo kele accountability nebo 10 billion. 10 billion is a lot of money.
Kamwa Rono kole boisiechin biikab emet ole katil koboisien ad hoc committee asikojaktaen boisiet ak komong report en chokyinet.
Kemoe kityo konai wananchi kole 10 billion ichu ko kokyai nang ne. Katebe biik kole kalya mai committee chekitindoi sectoral committees ko committee 12 ako tindoi age tugul membaek 9. So mo possible kwai biik 12 times 9 biik over 100 kwai oversight agenge. So yon kateni sheria, yon kateni uchunguzi departments chechang ko kit nekyoe kechobe kit nekure special committee non kikuren ad hoc. So mamoe kworogenchi ad hoc committee is just like any other committee, u committee nebo roads, u committee nebo water. The only difference is that investigating more than one department.
Kamwa whip nebo County Assembly nebo Kericho na MC nebo waditab Seretut Chepsororet Haron Rotich kole tokyingei departments cheite 4 cheboto ortinwek ak kabatisiet asikonai boisietab rabisiek cheboto chebo toretosiek chenootin kou floka chekinyor department nebo kabatisiet en county nebo Kericho.
Kwanza ni mambo ya mabarabara, ya pili katika kila wadi, ya pili ni mambo ya kilimo ambapo kuna pesa ya fadhili ambapo zilikuwa zinaelekea katika zile kufadhili ile miradi ya kilimo katika kila wadi. Na ya tatu ni mambo ya maji. Kuna pesa zinatoka inaitwa Floka na pia NAFCDP. All those funded projects are from the donors. And therefore what we are seeking is we want clarity on the projects that has been done in 2 successive financial years. And so those are our requests to those officers wakuje katika bunge waweze kujieleza hizo pesa zilienda hapo.
Aripot logoiwekab emet chebo Kass kong'eten county nebo Kericho, kainenyun ko Robert Siele.
Chitab Kalenjin kakitukcho emetab logoiwekchok chebo emet chekakimuch kebun kong'ete studio nebo Kass TV. Kongoi missing ak Brandon kekonech iker logoiwekab emet kekurenon Jacqueline Arusei, kabarastaindet nekawolwech ng'alek eng oretab kabarunoik kekurenon Naomi Cherotich. Amakon kit age tugul nemie.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitkei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik chok, sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en namba 55552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit nechome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet naet.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait. Reconnect to TV Yako for only 999 shillings today, only on GoTV.
Never fail me, even if I fail you. You never leave me, even if I leave you, Lord. L'agneau per la presa mama, la tufe, la canon so petite canca, Shons coucou. BF, 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 BF.
To be my lawfully wedded wife. I promise to love you, honor you, protect you,
and remain faithful to you, for better or for worse. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Just sit to the beat.
Kalema rani en gokwani en tumdonyon tumdone anyin
Asa sweetie, neo chomeo, netunyora, tuletunda. Rudi nyuma kidogo. Tuletunda. Kwenda chunga na wote tuletunda. 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 Tuletunda na wote. Aya sunguka hivi.
Longetab kabatik ko tetutiet netokchinigei konet ak konoisechi kabatik akobo boisionikab kabatisiet.
Kianam avocado ak ketik oeng chekikuren fuete.
Eng yu ko kinetigei akobo ortinwek chebo kasari chebo kabatisiet ak kit nenyolu koyai kabatindet asikonyor melekto neo.
One of the key aspects of doing anything when it comes to growing food is
how healthy are our soils.
Kobun tetutienoto bo community of practice kotestai bengenata kosuldae kanetet kuit stakeholders tugul chebo kabatisiet eng counties chebo West Pokot, Trans Nzoia County, Uasin Gishu County ak Elgeyo Marakwet County akobo kamanutienoto bo ripsetab ng'ung'unyek eng program nenaat ko Economics of Ecosystems and Biodiversity.
Ngetuiye kila kwang'wan kasi eng tetutiet.
Chamgei chitab Kalenjin amang'u imi en chametabgei en tugul ole imi. Kimiten Kass Media inab Kipkelese ako en kainutik kekurenon Faith Chepto ako en kipindinyon nebo Night Tienindet kemi ak tienindenyon raini nebo wikit ne amoe sokochi inendet kokatech ak komwowech missing ele kinamda tienwogikyik ako ele bunu ak kainutikyik. Angen ale maton inendet missing. Karibu sana.
Kongoi missing biikab Kalenjin. Anendet kekurenon Terterin Silas. Ana ale chang biik chekikokeron en social media chu. Kikebwan industry nebo tiendo koik keny. Anendet ayobu Bomet. Ele kikuren Chebolungu. Cheboyo. Anendet kora ko kipsomonindet kiakangap sengerek ak anume motobori. En betutab raini ko katachan biikab Kass Media sikeng'alal tugul ak kokas biik akobo story chechok ele kikinamda tiendo kong'eten keny ole kinye akoi nguni kemi kora tomo kebakach tiendo takemi ngap yuton ko mbarenyon, yuton ko ole kikebekyi, kikeyany kele yuton ele kiome akoi maisha nenyon. Mes kitakewekse kesirech police keikun konetik hapana. Kimi tiendo ne akoi mwisho. Kongoi missing.
Sawa yin bwana Terterin, kaimwa ile kikurenin Terterin, amoe iarorwech ile kibunu ano kainanono ngamun nobore aker siko maya chito ako amoe simwochi ilenji kibunu ano kainanon Terterin.
Kongoi missing Chepto. Ingen ile chito ngesiche kora konan kowalangei kounon. So ole king'eten kainani ko king'eten kainet nekakile Kipterter. So ko kiesikenyun kwang'etet ko kiaterter iman nekingokeron chito baro oh. Aya akonyo kotoreton kora ko kiabire mbiret kinomi primary. So kiche kaina nabare terter. Kotun kokanyo ng'alekab tiendo anyin kityo kole Terterin anibu koto Kipterter. So Terterin kong'eten kainet Kipterter. Anyochop kityo kole Terterin akatesyi kit nebare Silas. So ngandan inenen nguni kingokakomong tienik komong tienindet mi nebare Cyrus, komong Cyrus Simba, komong Cyrus nombo Wachuli, ko nenyun ko Silas. Silas. Ako kainan ko kibo keny. Ngunon kainan ko kianome atau 1996. Yeah.
So apart from tiendo kora ko inye ibirindetab mpiret.
Komako nguni kiachesoni mpiret ami primary lakini ako mawe secondary. Kiachezan kityo ken primary akabek yoton akachut ng'alekab wayat kwak.
So tos ngunon kimwa ile kimetoen in primary, tos kiyain ng'alekab tiendo imete sukul anan kiker ine ile?
Among'u ale sabakach sukul ko tiendo. Abak talentait ni kora ko anan kochutu talentait. Kit netai korok siker ot ko komong'u kebore ne somanan kou tuoi CPC chone kemoche talentaitab lakwet kondo korong. So aba ko eche kikitinye talentaitab mostly ko kikita. So ko kichute kisib kochuton korotik kabisa mi